Hi, Generator Dan. Academy Electrical Contractors is a commercial industrial electrical contractor, and during the course of our years we've experienced an awful lot of catastrophic failures that have happened in people's commercial buildings. And a lot of times it's due to the lack of maintenance. And I know what you're going to tell me. What do you mean by maintenance? Maintenance, if you turn the switch, the light goes on, it works, we're good. Well, it may be simple as that to you, but there is a lot more going on behind the scenes that I would like to take this opportunity to talk to you about. We all have preventative maintenance that we do with our physical bodies. We get physicals once a year, we get our checks and all that stuff. Today I want to talk to you about the use of an infrared camera and how preventative maintenance with an infrared camera coming in and shooting your electrical switchgear, we can find problems that are unknown to you at this time. It's things that are going on behind the scenes. Maybe it's a connection that's getting hot, it's a breaker that's failing, could be a bunch of different stuff that's going on, but this camera would help us find that, and we can find the problem before it becomes a catastrophic failure, save you all that downtime and that huge expense that goes along with that. So what we use is we use this Fluke infrared camera that I have here, and I'm going to show you a little bit about how this camera works, what it does, and how it finds problems that you don't even know exists in your electrical system. So when we go to a site, we can take this camera, remove the electrical panel covers so that we can actually see the inside of the panels. So what happens is, I'm going to show you here, as we turn the camera around so you can see, on the side is a temperature range. So depending upon the colors that come up in the middle, that's how we know where the temperature's going. Real simple, I'm going to show you by putting my hand in front of this camera what happens. So when I bring my hand up, you can see now that there's a temperature difference, and the top of the screen on the right, the bar, shows you that, it's 98, 99 degrees, and the side is right there, it's 91 and a half, 92 degrees. And that is the temperature, the exterior temperature on the skin on my hand. And that's how we can see what's going on inside your electrical panels. So basically, we can take this camera and look at the circuit breakers, look at the electrical connections, and see if something is getting hot. I have another little demonstration that I want to do for you, and this is the back of an amplifier that we have here at the site, and you can see where the heat sinks are on the amplifier inside there, where the temperatures are actually going. Okay, the top of that screen is 324 degrees. And you can see when I move the camera around, we get to the real hot spots. And because of the color changes on that screen, you can see exactly where the problem is. And that's right where the heat sinks are on the amplifier. And that's what they're there for. Those heat sinks are there on the amplifier to get rid of heat. And that's exactly what this camera is showing us. So by the use of this camera, we can come into your facility even though you're not even experiencing a problem right now, and give your electrical system a health check. Hopefully we come in and find nothing. 2 years, 3 years later, we come back and we do it again. Once we have a baseline, now we come back and we compare the new test to the old test. And if a temperature, I'm just going to use a number, it was at 100 degrees 3 years ago, and now we come back and it's at 150 degrees or 200 degrees, the aha is here now. What's going on? Something's gotten loose over time, which happens with electrical connections, and they've got to be tightened back up. So we could come in and find a hot spot and tighten it up, and the heat problem goes away, or we leave that alone and it continues to get hotter and hotter and hotter, and eventually now you have a catastrophic failure, a huge, maybe even a fire, and you're down. So a little bit of preventative maintenance and spending the money to do thermal imaging in your facility could save you hundreds of thousands of dollars later. We're currently on a project in Hasbrook Heights. The bus duct failed. It is a multi-million-dollar repair. So had this problem been found when it was just a connection problem and the connection was tightened, it would have been end of story. So they could have spent a couple of $1,000s or a couple of million and been down for weeks. The decision is yours. A prudent facilities manager or a guy that's in charge of production is going to want to spend a little bit of money and solve a problem instead of spending a ton of money trying to fix the problem. Academy Electrical Contractors, around since 1981. Quality work by quality guys. Call us, we can take care of it.